Good afternoon, American government and politics AP students. This is my first episode, thanks to your encouragement, so please don't judge. Not calling anybody out by name, but you know who you are. So here we go with American political ideologies and beliefs here, okay? So this is Unit 4, 4.1. We're going to look at the relationship between the core beliefs of us as citizens and our attitudes about the role of government. And so what might you say about that? Well, I would say that we've got different interpretations of core values: individualism, equality of opportunity, free enterprise, rule of law, limited government. These concepts all affect the relationship between us, the citizens, and the federal government, and the relationship that we have with each other. How cultural factors influence political attitudes and socialization. We went over this in class today a little bit about all these different spheres of influence that make you think the way you do, and so this is just a summary of that, and they all contribute to the development of your political attitude and your values through this concept, this process called political socialization. Changes in ideology and then influence of political events. So sometimes we do change for various reasons. And why? Well, sometimes it's generational or life cycle effects also contribute to our socialization that influence us as individuals and our attitudes. And as mentioned in class, sometimes major political events may change or morph our attitude about politics. And this is all examples of political socialization. So what do we do with those attitudes? Well, scientists love to know how we think and how we feel. So what are the elements of a scientific poll? Keyword being scientific. We want to make sure that we know the types of polls, opinion polls, which they just ask you how you feel about a topic, or tracking polls. These are done daily usually through presidential races. And it's just a daily sort of scorekeeping, if you will, of who's up, who's down. You know, how is Trump up today, or why is he down from last month? Or Kamala Harris has recently dropped out of the top 3 in the Democratic candidacy. So why? What's going on there? Entrance polls, how you feel about a candidate before you get in, and exit polls, how you said you voted while you were in the polling place. And sometimes we're not honest, and that's okay, but that's the difficulty of measuring a poll sometimes. How do we sample the population identification of respondents? Who are we sampling? Is it a mass survey, or is it a focus group of mainly Republicans, mainly Democrats? We don't know. So these are elements of scientific polls that every good poll will give you this information. Sampling error. How could it be that all the polls had Hillary winning in 2016 were wrong? Well, we know that there was some scientific errors going on with that situation. So this is why we need to know how public opinion is measured, and it's done scientifically. The type and the format of questions. Are they leading questions? Do they want you to say yes? Do they want you to say a no? That's all embedded in this concept of polling. Evaluating public opinion, the quality, the credibility of claims based on public opinion. All right. Survey says that the relationship between scientific polling and elections and policy debates are affected by the importance of opinion as a source. How strongly do you feel about a certain issue? All right, and then the reliability and the veracity, the truth of the public opinion data. So we need to make sure that we can analyze this in an astute manner to make good, sound policy decisions and make sure that the data is correct. What about ideologies of the two major parties and how they shape policy debates? Woo! Oh my gosh, this is getting crazy. So, generally speaking, the Democrat platforms align more closely with a liberal ideological position, and the Republican Party platforms generally align with conservative ideological positions. We're going to take a look at both these concepts when we look at the party platforms later on this week and see where exactly these parties stand in relation to public policy and how that affects our federal government. So, hope you enjoyed this brief survey, or this brief PowerPoint, my first one. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it turns out well, and thank you for encouraging me to go a little bit above and beyond my scope of expertise, and hopefully it'll help you, which is what I'm here to do. Thanks, and we will see you tomorrow.